But there's a bird. What are you doing, bird? Ah! He's looking at me like I'm on his turf or something. Ah! If you're new to the project, a big warm welcome. If you're a tough old root, then welcome back. Here on Steep in the Woods, we're building a tower house out of used pallets, of which I'm standing on our second level. And in today's video, we're going to be framing in our 4 large windows. So we've got 4 large windows total. The 3 that you see behind me here, plus 1 easement window from an old camper. Nope, it doesn't have to be from a camper. It doesn't even have to be an official easement window. You just need a window on your second level, if it's only got 1 entrance. That's big enough to jump out of if you need to in an emergency. But the 3 windows you see behind me, nope, they're not perfect. By any stretch of the imagination, these are not perfect windows. However, they work. You know, they got glass on them. I got these for $5 a piece at a rehab store. So you're looking at $15 worth of windows right here. And you can't beat that. I mean, look at the amount of window you get for only 15 bucks. So step 1 is literally just holding the window up in position and seeing how many of these inside pallet boards that we're going to have to cut in order to have an unobscured window here. And it's looking like it's almost perfect at 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go ahead and cut those out and pull the nails out of the pallet. You may have noticed that I didn't actually cut these boards flush up to this stud here, and that's because I'm just not all that good with a circular saw. I'm just not. I'm much better with a hand saw, so that's what I did. Since this is the actual inside of the house, I want it to look as good as possible. It's not going to be perfect, but if it can just be better than it otherwise would be, I will be happy with it. So I'm going to come back with a pull saw and trim all of these. Also, surprise, surprise, almost none of the nails came out with the boards because this is oak. So we're hopefully going to be able to get them out by hand with crowbar. Yet another complication with building with oak. I'm unable to get these out. It's just not happening. I've got some vice grips and I'm clamping them. You know, so the first thing, the heads popped off, about killed me. That's why I was wearing glasses. Then I got my vice grips, attached them to them, and I'm just literally breaking the nail apart. So I guess these guys are gonna stay. They win. You win. Good job, screwed nails. So I'm gonna get my angle grinder and I'll just cut them off. That way, you know, they're not going to cut someone. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just another, like, yay, I'll be glad when this thing's done. I broke my last pull saw constructing the walls, so I went on Amazon. I was looking just for the cheapest one. They had one of them for like $6.50, but it looked kind of small, and then another one for 10 bucks. So I thought, okay, 10 bucks, that's a good deal. It's at least going to be bigger than the tiny one, right? So I bought it, I got it in, and this thing is freaking massive. It's the biggest dang, I mean, what the heck, man? This is like a machete. But we're going to do the best that we can with it. I am thinking for our needs, we should have went with the $6.50 one, but I'll try my best to make it work. It cuts extremely well, especially since all of these wood, all this wood is a hardwood variety. Cuts very, very well. It's just huge. Either way, that's the next step of the process, right? Trimming all of these and actually making them flush with, in theory, a tool that I'm good at and trust. In theory. We're going to take a quick break to tell you guys about Steep in the Woods website, where we not only sell spring development kits, we also sell just the dams for you guys who like to do things yourself, as well as sediment filter buckets. We also sell worm compost bins and drinking water filters. If you're interested in any of those, click here to check them out. I finished trimming all of these pallet boards on these long windows, and while we're waiting for the ability to get some more supplies for framing them in, we're going to go ahead and start on our easement window. On this particular window, we have some flat boards here that are bulged in, so we're going to cut a slit in these, giving us that flexing room to get our 2x3s flush with the outside wall. Thanks to a bunch of sales on the Steep in the Woods website, we were able to purchase some store-bought lumber to wrap up these windows. For the long skinny windows, we're using 2x3s, but for the easement window right here, since we actually had to cut the stud, we went with a 2x4 with a little bit more meat on it. Luckily, the easement window fits perfectly in this space here, so we just got to put a board on the bottom and a board on the top. This isn't a load-bearing deal. The way that we got this house set up is that this wall and that wall behind you support the floor, and then that wall and that, or the second level floor, that wall and that wall support the roof. So this is the second level. It's above the second level, so it's not actually holding much of anything at all, really. So either way, we just put one on the bottom and one on the top. The next part of this process involved taking some pallet wood and my circular saw and cutting them down to 1.5 inch width. These will be utilized on our window frame to just bring the frame itself up flush with the rest of the outside of this structure. Because as we cut in this window, we did lose some of those flat pallet boards. So let's say right here, it actually divots down. So we're going to put this here just to bring it back up flush. And just like that, at least the framing part of the windows in our pallet tower is now complete. And there you have it. That's how we framed in the 4 large windows in our Pallet Tower build. A huge thank you to all of you who have either become members or purchased spring kits off of the website. Because of you guys, we were able to purchase the store-bought lumber used in this video. And as always, remember, if you liked what you saw, hit that button. If you're new to the project, hit that other button. Help support the project. There are links below. If you have a question you would like a dedicated video on, email us directly. And until next time, here, Steep in the Woods. And it's gonna rain. Seriously?